Minister, when I first came into this chamber, I welcomed the coalition of cuts, and I think unfortunately for the people of this country, whether you're a woman, a working man or woman, a young person who've lost their jobs, or people who've lost their jobs, or a young person hoping to get a job in the future, that has continued under this coalition of cuts. This budget does nothing to address the key problems facing people in this state. The economy is stagnant still. We're still facing a mortgage crisis. The jobs crisis is still at our doorstep and hasn't gone away. There's nothing for young people in this budget except potential emigration. And I wonder, as a part of Minister Noonan's foresight to actually reduce the tax on air travel in April 2014, because it was just about the time a lot of students will be leaving, doing their Leaving Cert and looking to the future and make it easier for them to travel out of this country. It's absolutely sickening what this budget could have been and what it is now. This budget targets the sick, young adults, the elderly and pregnant women, and protects the wealthy. That's fundamentally what this budget has done. 3 budgets into a so-called government of Labour in power. Yes, jobs have been created. 33,000 jobs have been created. That's been branded out as a big hurrah for this economy, and it's good that jobs have been created. But the reality is 12,100 are part-time. And what does part-time mean today? What that means today, part-time, is that not enough hours to earn pay to earn a decent wage. There are 150,000 part-time workers who want more hours. That's up from 4,000 in 2007. There are 86,000 on Mickey Mouse schemes with no real jobs at the end. To June 2013, the actual fall in numbers at work in the key 25 to 34 age group, there was an actual fall in the numbers at work in that age group, and also in the 20 to 24 age group. This group has been hit with a cut in the unemployment benefit. This is scandalous. There's been a drop in the employment in those areas, particularly for 20 to 24-year-olds, and yet this government are bringing in a cut in their welfare. How shameful you should really be in relation to that, and there's no foresight in relation to this in the budget. The claim by Minister Noonan that the economy is in its 3rd year of successive growth is a joke in very bad taste, and I think it will leave a very sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. After a disastrous economic collapse, we're bumping along at the bottom, and will continue to do so under an endless programme of austerity. What you should have done in this budget is launch a real jobs creation programme. You have over $6 billion in the Strategic Investment Fund that should have been allocated over the next 2 to 3 years in the programme, aimed at infrastructural deficits and job creation in the domestic economy, like areas of water, broadband, green energy and early childhood education. This would deliver real investment returns in the medium term, with immediate benefits in jobs, increased income tax and lower welfare. There is nothing but empty talk and a cut, and then the elimination of mortgage interest supplement for people desperately trying to hold on to their homes. Yet another failed opportunity to seriously address this problem. 30 million, Minister, from the lottery to recommence the state's housing building programme. Are you serious? Are you having a laugh at people? This would only probably build anything from 200 to 300 houses, not enough even for people who could be evicted over the next period of time every month out of their homes. It wouldn't even deal with that. Or the people who are on the housing waiting list of 100,000 people desperately looking for roofs put over their heads. Doesn't even deal with that. Doesn't even deal with people who want to actually maybe have a job and few bob to actually get a mortgage and live in a home. This is just a joke. In relation to that, and to put it forward as recommencing the state's house building programme, which Labour in the past would have had a certain history of housing building programmes, but this is, Minister, you should really hang your head in shame on that one. This is an attack on pregnant women. 13 million being cut from the maternity benefit on top of the cut last year that came in this year in relation to the maternity benefit. Prescription charges, absolutely scandalous. We know this has been raised on a number of occasions over the last period of time, where people are going in to get the prescription in cases where I put recently to the Minister of Health. One person's prescription is for 25 milligrams of Lespas. It was administered by the pharmacist in 20 milligrams of 5 milligrams, and he was charged €3 in prescription charges. Another person in my constituency, 4 milligrams of warfarin. It was packaged as 1 milligram and 3 milligrams and was charged €3. Now that person is going to be charged €6, Minister, and the cap is being capped at €25. To try and maybe, you know, give a bit more leeway, but that person is going to be facing another cut in their pension from those increases. Also, the medical cards. We've known and we've discussed this in the Dáil a number of occasions of people who are losing their medical cards. Recently, a young woman in my own area, she used to work in Blindcraft, was a productive worker in the community, is now on social welfare. She's blind, has other medical ailments. For the last 2 years, she's applied for the discretionary medical cards, been turned down, had to appeal twice. This year again, after putting forward all her arguments, she's been told again she will not get it. Is this part of the 113 million that's going to be saved in relation to this? These people who desperately need that discretionary medical card. The telephone for the elderly has been mentioned already, the bereavement grants, and also the PSO subvention to public transport. 18 million being cut out of that. Are you cutting now? Are you quite consciously saying you're not going to be supporting our public transport and cutting back in that area over the next period of time? I think, Minister, you should be, you said you're here representing the collective good of your government, cabinet ministers. Well, you should be ashamed. You really should be.